What is up, beautiful QTubers? It's your boy Justin with Cerebral Firearms, and today I am going in depth and behind the scenes of YouTube. That's right, guys. I am going to talk to you guys about my first 3 years on YouTube, what I expected, what became true, and what I think for the future of GunTube. Because I do think that good GunTubers are going extinct at an alarming rate. And I'll get into why next. Oh, let's get it. All right, guys, so to piggyback off the intro, I got into this to be both objective and subjective with everything that I do. I wanted to shoot 1,000 to 5,000 rounds through every gun that I reviewed, and I did that for the most part. There are a couple of exceptions where I borrowed it from a buddy and, sorry, getting tangled up. I borrowed it from a buddy and I wasn't able to do all, 5,000 rounds. But there's been a lot of guns that I've actually went well over 5,000 rounds. The Jackal, the Glock 34, my Shadow Systems MR920, my Shadow Systems CR920 XP, Glock 48, Glock 45, Glock 47, lots of Glocks. A lot of my ARs have seen well over 5,000 rounds, and that's just to name a few. Now, what I've found through this is the absolute truth that you pay for what you get. Now, if you are a person who only shoots 50 rounds a year, 100 rounds a year, and you're looking for the best budget build you can get, bang for your buck, whatever you want to say, I would highly suggest learning how to build an AR, learning how all the pieces fit together, finding friends that have the tools, and building an exceptional gun for what you would probably pay for if you got a PSA Saber. If you do not want to go the build route, I am going to straight up tell you BCM, Sons of Liberty Gunworks. Those are two amazing companies. BCM and Sons of Liberty are some of the best QCers on the market. They don't manufacture a lot, but what they do is they QC the shit out of the stuff that comes in when they draw it to spec. Companies such as Glock, you're never going to miss there. As much as you want to talk shit about Glock, you're never going to miss. Smith & Wesson, I'm not a fan of Smith & Wesson. I feel like since they moved to Tennessee, their QC has gone way downhill. I've tested 2 of their products and both had trigger issues. Very disappointed in Smith & Wesson. But with that being said, you replace the trigger, you replace the slide stop, and you have a fucking awesome pistol. Dutyrated, in my opinion. Now, that brings up another thing. What is Dutyrated? It is a very subjective term that has a lot of different variations to the definition. But to me, Dutyrated means if anything happens at any point, anywhere, and I need to use that gun, it is going to go bang for as long as I need it to. I have a couple of guns that I do not think is Dutyrated. So what I've done is I have gotten rid of those guns. I don't think they belong in my rotation. One of those being a Jackal, and it hurt me because I love the Jackal. Anybody that knows me knows that I used to talk such a game on the Jackal. I think it's a great platform, but I think they have a huge issue with how they keep the barrel in the upper receiver. And because of that, I can honestly say I almost got severely injured because the barrel was so loose that it almost came out of the entire upper receiver. I went home, I emailed them, they were ready to send me, god damn it, he went down there again. They were ready to send me a new barrel, but I said no. I looked at it and it was just wiggly. it was about to come out of the upper receiver. Now that to me is petrifying, because I was not just using it slow. I was, shall I say, super safe with it, if you catch my drift. Now, the other things that I've noticed in YouTube is that GunTubers are not what you think. There's probably 5% of GunTubers that actually run through the product, that beat it up, that utilize it way more than you will ever do, and it still keeps going. A lot of them are going to have issues. That's just what it is. Wear items wear, springs wear, things happen. Barrels burn out, not on 9mm pistols. If you burn a 9mm pistol out, I want to meet you. But, you know, ARs. Bubby! Come on. Come here, Bubs. He's not even listening to me. He just got his ears up staring at... Bubby! Come on. He's pissing on something right now. Sorry for that. The biggest thing that I would like to say is that 5% of GunTubers on YouTube actually do anything that's worthy of watching. There's a guy, it's like, what's his name? Regular Guy Training or something like that. I used to think he was an asshole. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought a lot of these GunTubers were assholes when I first started. Then I found out that 95% of them are just corporate shills. Just there to get you to put a coupon code at the end of the checkout so that they can get their 10% of whatever the fuck you are buying. Regardless of whether it works, regardless of whether it's going to protect your family, or if you should actually get it. In essence, basically wasting your money for them to collect a dime. I've unfortunately fallen into the affiliates thing, because that's literally the only way you can make any money whatsoever in this game if you have under 500,000 subscribers. YouTube does not pay anything. I get $400 a month tops, and I have 40,000 subscribers. You know, I'm not a big name. I'm a regular dude doing this shit for fun, guys. I spent a lot of money on ammo in the past 3 years, and that's just so I can help you guys figure things out. Sorry, guys. My dog's literally crossing. Now with that said, there are some good ones still out there. But what you as a consumer need to do is you need to go through what you see, and the Coleon Noirs, the GBRS, these channels that you guys are watching, they're in it for a buck. And you can see this. Look what GBRS just did with the Jackal. All right, they put out a video. They shot it on YouTube or on film, like maybe 2 mags, 3 mags, if that. And then they sit there and say, oh, this is a duty-rated rifle. The fact that you guys hang on to every last word of these people because of what they did in the past 10 years is blasphemy. All right, yeah, they knew how to shoot. Cool. But they're also taking 6 figures home from all of these gun groups or gun companies to tell you to buy a Jackal when you could just watch any other video and everybody will tell you the same fucking thing. That the barrel does not hold on to the upper receiver. That the receiver gets super fucking hot because it's a piston gun. That it's very front heavy. That it's not a SCAR. It's infuriating, guys, what I see on the back end of things. Now, I also see a lot of great companies that go overlooked because of these bigger companies with bigger ad revenue or ad pockets, bigger pockets. SIG being one of them. SIG, I think, is a good company. I really enjoyed SIG before the P320 debacle. Bobby, be nice. The other thing that I found fascinating was the companies that actually send products to YouTubers that are under, 15,000 subscribers. 30,000 subscribers. These are companies like Aimwin, like Sealy, Olight. These are the companies that are sending products to individuals and then giving them a coupon code and telling them, hey, I'll give you 5 optics. Review them. Most people put 1 mag through it, call it a day, because they want that free product. Other companies like Trigicon, Aimpoint, HoloSun, these are companies with unobtainium stuff for people under 100,000 subscribers to get. And the reason for that is because they ride on their name alone. They don't need somebody like me or whoever to review their product. They don't need somebody like me. They have their name. It's been through X, X, and X. It's a great optic, blah, blah, blah. I really do think you guys need to start understanding who these people are that are better at reviewing gun stuff and gear stuff, and stop listening to the ones that are in cahoots with these companies and start making decisions based on what you need. I'm going to be honest with you. I've gotten rid of all of my just as good stuff because it's not. It's not. It's really not. But there is a line where I think quality products are purchased for a good price. Hey, Bubby, come on. BCM is one of those. Glock is another one. CZ is another one. Sons of Liberty Gunworks, I think, is an amazing company. Joe, come here. There are companies out there. I'm sorry, I'm trying to wrangle my dogs. But what I have noticed is that people are often paid for. Paid for by companies with deep pockets and using individuals as advertisements. All right, guys, this is day 2 of me talking about this schizo rant. I went on a 15-minute tangent, cut it all out, and was like, y'all don't need to hear most of that shit. But I'm gonna wrap this up in a couple of minutes. It is, stop keeping up with the Joneses. Gun companies are paid to produce more guns, more products, so that the consumers consume. Stop consuming so damn much. If you want to consume something, I would say consume the gym, consume training, consume ammo. If you have a duty pistol, a duty rifle, I do think it is very beneficial for you to get out and touch grass as much as possible. You could start collecting. I think collecting is great. We're all at different points in our lives, so I will say I've gotten a lot of guns over the past 3 years. I'm cutting mine down to like a handful of pistols, a handful of rifles, and a bunch of suppressors. But with that being said, there are companies out there that you guys can utilize that does have a good price to performance ratio. We're talking about LWRCI. We're talking about BCM. We're talking about Sons of Liberty, Geisley. There's a couple of them out there that is just good. Then you get into the LMTs, the Knights Armament. Yes, they're fantastic guns. Fantastic. Are they worth that much more than an LWRC? I don't think so. But if that's your game, man. Cool. The other thing is, watch who you trust on YouTube. A lot of people are in this for financial purposes alone. And you will see this by people not knowing what the fuck they're talking about. People shilling every company out there with affiliates. And that's the last thing that I want to hit on, is GunTubers in this community do not make a fucking dime if they do what they're supposed to do. If you go out there and even if you're given, like Bursa is sending me a 2011 to review, okay? Right off the rip, I just spent $500 on 2,000 rounds-ish. 500-ish. You know, ARs, it's even more expensive. Instead of 23 cents a round, it's 50 cents or 46 cents a round. And then you get into all of the defensive ammo that you have to put through the gun to make sure that it runs that shit and all that other stuff, man. It costs about, in order to run a 2,000 round pistol review, 9mm, it's off the rip about $580. straight off the rip. That's if you get a good deal on ammo. Nobody has ammo sponsors under 1 million subscribers, I can tell you that, unless they know people. But I do appreciate the affiliates that I have, and those affiliates are people that I trust. Brownells, I trust them. They're a great company. PSA, I do trust to a certain degree, depending on the platform that I'm shooting. Their Saber has been pretty decent to me. I'm excited about their mixtape. You know, they have a couple things coming out that I really like. The Jackal I used to love, you know. I do think that there is a lot of room for improvement, in my opinion. They have some great AKs. I do think PSA has some good stuff. If you have a duty pistol and a duty rifle, please understand that. Then you can start collecting. We're all in different places in our lives, guys. The other last thing that I want to say on top of that is, please vet these people that you're training from. Please vet these people that you're watching and taking advice from. The groups on Facebook and Reddit, and you know, I'm on this one group on Facebook. I love this group. Awesome group. But you have to understand that a lot of it is satire. A lot of it's just bullshitting around. It's like being in the military. Everybody's, you know, fucking with each other, basically. And it's mid-tier 6. MT 6.2 or some shit like that. I don't know. Good group of dudes. Like, guy named Johnny's on it. He's got some fucking sweet guns. Hit me up if you want to send some my way. But they rag on people for having shitty guns. And for the longest time, I thought, these are fucking turds. Douche Nuggets, bro. No, they're just trying to be honest. And to show you guys, by bullying you, that just as good is never good enough. And that's the point that everybody tries to make in the gun community, is if you're in a gunfight, there's no such thing as classes. At all. It's all open, baby. Fucking carry that staccato you have. Carry that platypus you have. Carry that ported comped Mac 9 DS you have. Carry what you can. I carry a CR920 XP. I carry it because I am wicked with that gun. Like, wicked. I also am a therapist, so I see a lot of my clients out in public, and unfortunately, I don't want them to know what I have on me. That's just me. Carry a Glock 34 sometimes. I used to. But you guys need to be smarter with what you listen to. The echo chamber, the friend group that says Anderson was good enough, you know, all of that stuff, please stop listening to that. Please stop listening to Colion Noir saying that the P365 is the best fucking gun in the world, or that the Springfield Prodigy first gen, when it first dropped, was fucking incredible, just sleek and sexy and black and beautiful. And dude uses too many fucking poetic hymns to... I like... It seems like a nice guy, but the motherfucker's in it for money. He's a lawyer, that's all you need to know. GBRS group, I appreciate what they did. You know, I salute you, and, you know, thank you for your cervix, guys. But that doesn't mean I have to take gun advice from you. At all. Because I know you're getting paid for this shit. There's no way you're not, unless you guys maybe smelled too much of the glue while you were going through, you know, training, or while you were in the VA, you got, you know, hands on some wicked experimental drugs. Regardless, please understand, I'm coming at this trying to be nice to you guys. I don't give a fuck about anybody else. I care about people that are working every day, that are spending their money on this shit. And I don't want you guys to waste money. Because if you buy a gun for $1,500 and then you try to sell it to a local gun store, a used gun, you're automatically, that's 50% down the tube. You're taking a 50% loss on that. I guarantee you. Especially right now, because local gun stores are chock full of used guns. Because that's all anybody's doing, is selling their guns. So listen, please remember, buy good guns, stop listening to dipshits, buy ammo, train, evolve, and above all, God bless. Guys, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This is the last time you are going to be able to get in on the Mantis giveaway. We're doing it on the 9th, so next week. Please, I love giving away training shit. So we're going to be doing it again afterwards. Mantis is a great company. They hook me up with some great shit, and all I do is just give it to you guys. So please, learn, train, and evolve, but above all, God bless. This was my TED Talk.